All right, there we go.
Uh,
Danny Lewis with Virginia Preps here with the newly named James River coach, Jacob Hodges. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. For those unfamiliar with you, obviously you've been at Atlee for a few seasons here as offensive coordinator. What's your background beyond that in football?
I played at the University of Virginia as an undergraduate, and then after graduating from there in 2012, I joined the staff as a graduate assistant coach, working with the defensive side of the football, special teams. I spent 2 seasons there as a graduate assistant before accepting a job at Hampden-Sydney College, coaching the defensive backs and helping with the special teams there. After 2 seasons at Hampden-Sydney, my wife and I moved to Baltimore, Maryland, and I coached at Calvert Hall College High School for 1 season, coaching receivers, quarterbacks, helping out with the offense, helping out with special teams. And then after that, I was at Atlee the past 3 seasons as the offensive coordinator.
So it sounds like you've been multiple places and done had experience with different positions, different coaching schemes. What has that experience done to prepare you for being a head coach at this point?
Just the multitude of experience having coached a lot of different positions has given me a good understanding of the game. I've always felt that if you're the head coach, you have to have an understanding of what goes into playing every position, how to coach every position, because ultimately everything in the program is going to fall back on you. So you have to make sure you have a good understanding of the entire scheme of each side of the ball. So I think it's helped prepare me for that. And it's also allowed me to work with a lot of different coaches and a lot of different coaching styles, and kind of learning how to manage different personalities and work with different personalities has helped me prepare for this situation as well.
Do you feel that level of experience, that versatility of knowing the different positions, do you feel that maybe kind of gave you somewhat of an edge when it came to applying for the job?
I definitely think it's beneficial to have coached on both sides of the football, because they see the flexibility that brings. I also think it was beneficial having coached at the college level, both Division 1 and Division 3, because having an understanding of the recruiting process for like our young men, and a lot of them are looking to go to college, whether to play football or just to go to school. But just that experience at that level, I can help them whatever direction they want to go as far as their future. So I think the combination of the on the field coaching and then my off the field experience uh, probably was helpful in that process.
And that experience obviously makes you a good fit for the James River program. What was it about the James River program that fit for you? Some obviously it's had a little bit of coaching instability over the past few seasons. What was it about the program that you saw that made you go after it?
When I saw the job was open and I was doing my research, I noticed it was a community that wanted to support the program. The parents, they want to be involved in a positive way because they want their kids to have a positive experience. Um, the There's some diversity at the school, which I think is an awesome thing because of the relationships and learning to work with others, and not only working with people of the same background of you, whether that's race or economic status. Like, so I think that's important to me in a program, working at a place where you get some of the different backgrounds. And I just saw what they had as far as in the past. We scrimmaged when I was at Atlee. They've had some players out there, some good athletes, and they were always respectful. So I was like, it's a program with good kids, with talented kids, and they just need something to rally around. They need a direction to pull in, and it seems like it can be a special place if they can just get all of those things pulling in the same direction.
Do you see any similarities in the programs, James River and where you've been for the last 3 years, Atlee?
I do. And when I was at Atlee, Coach Gray did an excellent job of getting the parents involved and getting turnout from the players getting into the youth community to get more to build the program and build numbers within the program. And I see similarities as far as parent support and parents wanting to be involved again in a positive matter at James River is very similar to what I saw at Atlee, which is awesome. And then the need to get more of the youth community involved, which was similar to when I was first got to Atlee. Like that's kind of where we are now. We need to get more players involved. We need to build our numbers, but I definitely think it's possible. We're having a youth camp coming up next week. We have good numbers signed up for that. So I'm excited about building that aspect of it as well.
So you've got a camp already coming up. I guess you've been pretty busy over the last couple of weeks since being named head coach.
Yes, yes. We've been trying to get it out into the community, get involved, do some fundraisers as well to kind of help provide the best experience possible for the young men in our program. We have a golf tournament coming up in July. We have a lift-a-thon next week to go along with our youth camp. So it's been a busy few days or busy few weeks, but it's exciting. A lot of good things are coming for the program.
And what was the first meeting with the players like? How were you received by a group that has seen kind of a coaching turnover almost every other season in recent years?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they perceive me. I'm not sure if they want to tell me that. But I think the way I perceive them, what the feeling I got for them is they want a program with some structure, with a lot of structure, a program that's going to push them to do things the right way. One of our big things that we talk about is earn everything. I think that hearing that we're going to put them in a situation where they have to earn literally everything, they're going to have to earn their spot, earn their position, earn their number, earn the right to pick their equipment, like which order we pick equipment in. I think they were excited that they were going to be held to the fire, and everybody's going to be held to a standard. And it's not going to matter if you're a freshman, if you're a senior, if you're a Division I athlete, or a guy who's never going to play football after high school. Like if you work and you're going to have to work to earn your right and spot on this team. And I think they were excited about that.
So it sounds like you're kind of already getting your message across a little bit, somewhat putting your stamp on the program.
Absolutely. That's the most important thing from day one is building that culture and that the team camaraderie. And we've been working on that since the first day. We'll get to X's and O's as time comes, but the most important thing right now is making sure everybody understands the standards of our program and that we're going to make sure we're living up to them day in and day out.
Is there any one thing that you look back at 3 years at Atlee that you specifically want to carry over to this program?
One thing, there's quite a few things that Coach Gray that I thought he did really well, and that I definitely want to continue to carry on at our program at James River after leaving Atlee. One thing in particular, I probably couldn't stick my finger on the most, like, hey, that's the one thing I want to do, but definitely a few things, especially the relationships that he built with the parents in a positive way, because at high school level, parents can either be your greatest benefactor, or it can be a detriment if you don't have a good relationship with them. So I always had a positive relationship with the parents, and I was very appreciative of that. Him just kind of showing me that way. And then also just kind of the culture he built with the importance of the weight room and working out as a team. When he got to Atlee, everybody was working out with personal trainers. They didn't lift in the weight room at Atlee. Coming to James River, it sounds like it's kind of been a mixed bag there. But to me, it's important that we're all working out together. Nothing against personal trainers. It's just important that we are working as a team and seeing who we can count on, and the players see who they can count on, and things like that. So both of those things, I think, are going to be a big part of our program at James River.
And you obviously coached against some heavy hitters in the Capital District, Verona, Holland Springs, Patrick Henry. Now you're going to the Dominion District, where you got Manchester, Midlothian's on the rise, Monican's always good. What's that challenge like for you as a coach?
It's definitely gonna be a new challenge. We start to, when you're at a place for 3+ years, like I've been at Atlee, start to get familiar with what you're going to see uh, year in and year out from different teams. So we're going to be coming in, seeing new schemes, new coaching styles. Things are going to be a little bit different, and we're going to have to adjust quickly. And there's some really well coached teams down here, as you said, Manchester, Monacan, Midlothian, right down the road, next door, Powhatan. Coach Henderson does an awesome job. We played against him when he was at Freeman, when I was at Atlee. So there's a lot of good coaching staffs in the Dominion District, and we're going to have to adjust. We're going to have to do a lot of preparing this summer so that we're prepared going into the season to have success.
And how does James River look different from the James River we've seen with you now at the helm? When we take the field in the fall?
So the goal going into the fall is that you're going to see a group that looks well coached, that looks organized, that plays the game the right way, and that's 100%, 100 miles an hour from whistle to whistle, from the first whistle to the last whistle. Sportsmanship is a priority. We're not going to be jabbing and jawing, personal fouls, things like that. We're not going to be acceptable within the program. So doing those things the right way, and then a program that's going to do things the right way off the field and in the community as well. Our students, we're students first, so pushing ourselves in the classroom, getting involved in the community. So that's what we're going to be going forward.
And same sort of question, how does James River look similar, aside from the players, mind you, to what folks have seen in previous seasons?
So you're going to still see some explosive athletes out there. For example, last year, I think Chris Seward had 19 touches and scored on 7 of those. He's a returning player. You have guys like, Tony Brown was out there, and we're expecting him to take a big step up this year. A lot of our seniors, Caden Freeman, Charlie Cavallero, Kobe's guys, I can name days for days. Elijah Mayo made a ton of plays on defense. We expect him to keep it up. So you're still going to see the guys out there, making plays on the field. But other than that, we're hoping to move in a new direction. Nothing against the past, but we want to build a tradition of consistent winning here going forward.
And I know it's a bit early. I ask this to every coach and I always stump them, but what kind of goals do you have for that first season? Granted, it's still early, you're just getting your feet wet with the program, but have you thought about that at all?
So as far as wins, losses, playoffs, anything like that, I tell our kids like that, can't worry about. They can't really set goals with those things. If you set a goal to make the playoffs, but you don't make the playoffs, does that mean it's an unsuccessful season? I don't think that's fair, because a lot of growth and a lot of positive things can happen in a season where you don't necessarily make the playoffs. Now, the expectation is to do things like that every year, whether it's win X amount of games or make the playoffs. Like, obviously, that's the expectation every year, but the goal for this year and the goal going forward will always be like, are we setting the standards? Are we developing that culture? And are we living up to those? If we do those things, then all of the on the field stuff will take care of itself. If we're earning everything we do, if we are, trying to focus on getting 1% better every day, another thing we talk about over every single day, how can we get 1% better? If we focus on those things and we set that culture and that standard, then I'll be proud of these guys regardless of what the record is.
And have you given any thought? I know you've talked about the different programs you've been at, different positions you've coached. Have you given any thought to what kind of schemes you're gonna, coach? Whether it offense, defense. What is your preference? I guess you could say.
Right, we're right now we're kind of assessing. We're focusing on assessing our current players and what they're going to be able to do well. They have a ton of questions about the scheme. Like, hey, coach, are we going to be a spread? Are we going to be a power? Are we going to be this? Are we going to be 3 down, 4 down? And right now, we're just keep telling them, hey, guys, just focus on getting better. We're going to find out what you can do, and we're going to make you guys successful in that. I told them we're going to be a team that can run the football. And from the run game, we're going to create an explosive pass game. That's as far, that's kind of our focus offensively, and we'll build a specific system from there. And then defensively, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to attack the opponent. We're going to take away the big play, but we're going to attack them and kind of dictate to them instead of letting them dictate to us. Those are our two goals on each side of the ball.
Well, it sounds good, Coach. I look forward to seeing James River this fall and talking with you more here shortly.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Have a good one.